Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. My email is tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the Breitling Chronomat B0144, 44 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. The watch is 17.1 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, the case measures 53.9 millimeters, and the end link to end link total distance across the wrist is 55.5 millimeters with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll zoom out a little bit. We'll put this watch on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. The watch fits, but any smaller and it won't. So if your wrist is 15, 14, you need to look for a smaller chronomat. This watch will sit just, because you can see the lugs are right out to the edge of my wrist, not quite over, not yet, but we're right on the borderline. This is the limit. Take a look in profile. You can see this is a very sheer case flank. It's not going to fit underneath tight dress sleeves or cuffs. So you're going to want to wear a thinner watch if you need to slip it underneath a sleeve, but you should be okay with jacket cuffs. Taking a look at the bracelet. Breitling pilot style. You can see a slash cut, a 5-link design, all of satin finish for muted anti-glare appearance. You can see that there is a set of removable links fixed by screws. Use a screwdriver to size this bracelet on both sides. A new innovation, still relatively recent at Breitling, is the addition of a incrementally adjustable clasp. So you can see you have several increments that you can use to snap the clasp into place to micro size it without actually moving one of the removable links. So you've got that capability built in. You can also see that the anchoring point of the bracelet can be shifted back and forth inside the clasp by using a spring bar tool to compress the spring bar and then sit it into one of the alternate pairs of divots. So removable links, the quick adjust, and then the divots. Those are your degrees of adjustment. It's a single fold deployant with a clamshell lock. Taking a quick look at the case, we have blended integrated tapered lugs. Everything is satinated with the exception of a few highlights on the bezel and the crown side, featuring screw-down chronograph pushers and a screw-down Chronomat onion style crown. Many of these conventions on the Chronomat, the chronograph layout, the onion style crown, the rider tabs on the bezel, have been present on the Chronomat since its reemergence under the Schneider family in 1983. It was part of the rebirth of the Breitling firm in the era after the Breitlings vacated the company and the Schneiders took over. And this watch for a long time was the best seller in the lineup. The B0144 you see here is the latest variant. Now we have 500-meter water resistance due to the screw downs on the crown side, and we have a wonderfully crisp, rapid fire 120 click bezel that has the most wonderful, precise, mechanical feel and sound to it. It's easy to place precisely, and you can see that the luminescent pearl in the bezel is huge, allowing you to easily line up with the minute hand for a 0 to 60 minute count up or count down time. Use your imagination because there aren't numerals on the bezel, but you can see that that bezel pearl is absolutely huge. Taking a quick look at the rider tabs themselves and the bezel flank, you could see that the rider tabs are there to make it easier to grip the bezel, and then these little screws are present because this is what's known as a captive bezel. The bezel is held on using screws, not snapped on the way Omega, Rolex, and Tag Heuer bezels are, so this can't be knocked off by accident or snapped off. The bezel has to be dismantled with the screws removed, so this is a very, very tough system. The only other company that uses this widely is Zinn, which also makes very, very tough watches. We have a flange outboard on which a tachymeter is printed. The flange is black. You can use the chronograph in conjunction with the flange tachymeter to gauge the speed of, say, a car over a kilometer. Now, you will note that though this is a aviation-themed watch, it features a unidirectional rotating dive bezel, so it is properly described as a diving chronograph, even though traditionally Breitling has marketed the Chronomat as an aviator's chronograph. The dial features an anthracite metallic sunburst. We have rhodium-plated steel logo, indices, and hands for high contrast. The watch features sunken sub-registers, each of which has a polished chaptering. There is a date wheel between 4 and 5 o'clock, And you can see the watch includes a quick set for the date, as well as a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set the watch precisely to a reference time. Flip it all over, and this super tough case has a super tough screwed-in case back, 500 meters water-resistant caliber B01, 47 joules, 4 hertz beat rate, automatic winding, 70-hour power reserve, 5-position adjusted COSC Swiss chronometer. It features both a column wheel for chronograph function selection, making for a very crisp feel and sound, and then a vertical clutch for seamless and smooth no-jump chronograph engagement. You can also leave the chronograph running full-time with no additional wear and tear, thanks to the presence of the vertical clutch. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.